Welcome to this soul-lifting broadcast, which has been put together for your spiritual growth and to make greatness common right where you are. Be sure to make the best of this moment as God takes the lead in all that concerns you.
Triggers, catalysts, and enablers. Triggers, catalysts, and enablers. Triggers, catalysts, and enablers. I take my text from Ephesians chapter 5, and I'll read from verse 15 down to 18. Can you say after me one more time? Say triggers, catalysts, and enablers. Somebody may be wondering, where are we going today? Just follow me very carefully, because I believe God is about to trigger something new in your life. It's about to precipitate a new experience for you in the precious name of Jesus. So this teaching is, I say it again, is triggers, catalysts, and enablers. Ephesians chapter 15, and I'll read from verse 5. I'm reading from the Amplified Classic Translation. It says, look carefully then how you walk. Live purposefully and worthily and accurately, not as the unwise and witless, but as wise, sensible, intelligent people, making the very most of the time. In bracket it says, buying up each opportunity, because the days are evil. It says, therefore, do not be vague and thoughtless and foolish, but understanding and firmly grasping what the will of the Lord is. And do not get drunk with wine, for that is debauchery, but ever be filled and stimulated with the Holy Spirit. Glory be to Jesus. It's important for me to mention verse 15 again. It says, look carefully how you walk, live purposefully and worthily and accurately. That's how we should live at this time. A time of crisis is not a time that you live anyhow, that you walk anyhow, that you behave anyhow. He said, not as unwise and witless. There's a time that we engage the wisdom of God and we demonstrate, wit. We demonstrate, tact. We demonstrate, spiritual wisdom, heavenly wisdom. He said, but as wise, sensible, intelligent people, making the very most of the time and buying up opportunities. It's important for you to know that according to this passage of the scripture, this is how the earthly conduct of believers, how God expects us to live. And in the time of crisis, there's a stronger call for us as believers to live like this. And that's what brought this message of today. That to be audacious, you must recognize destiny triggers, catalyst, and enablers. Yeah. Triggers. Let's talk about trigger. Trigger. We have said that to be audacious, you must recognize destiny triggers, catalysts, and enablers. But let's start with trigger. Trigger simply means an event or circumstance that is the cause of a particular action, process, of situation. Particular action or process of or situation. Something that triggers an action, that triggers a process, or that triggers a situation. And all through the scriptures, we'll see all kinds of triggers. Like I said, I'm going to use 2 or 3 characters in the Bible. So we'll do a bit of character study today. 2 or 3 characters in the Bible. And I'm also going to talk about my own experience with walking with God through these many years, of being saved. I've been saved now about 30 years of being a believer in Christ Jesus. And I've had experiences where God used all kinds of triggers to just show me the way. All kinds of catalysts to bring me to the awareness of what He's doing in my life. So, examples of triggers, you have something like salvation experience. I don't know about you, but for me personally, my salvation experience triggered so many things in my life. And if you have been saved, you should be able to know right now the things that your salvation experience triggered in your life. If you want to be vulnerable with us today, you can just go to the chat room and write, when I got saved, I became aware of this. This happened when I got saved. That happened when I got saved. That shows me that you're coming along with me in this message today. What are the things that were triggered at the point of your salvation? What are those things that were triggered at the point of your salvation? The salvation experience is a trigger. Sometimes a mistake is a trigger. Because you made a mistake and you just realize that, wow, so this thing can have this far-reaching effect. It's a no-go area, and I'm never going to go back there again. Never going to go back there again. Sometimes discovering a gift or talent can be a trigger. Well, all of a sudden you just discover that you could do something that you weren't aware that you could do. It becomes a trigger, a trigger that triggers something that says my life can go in this direction. This thing that has been a hobby for me for so long can actually be a source of income. Most people move from passion to hobby to vocation and then to calling. And the ultimate in life is a sense of calling. You can have something that is just a hobby, or something that you are passionate about, or something, a vocation that you are neither passionate about or has never been your hobby, but you need money. So you got on the vocation, you got a job. But the ultimate in life is for us to have a sense of calling. A sense of calling. And God always wants to trigger that sense of calling. And sometimes you don't even end from your calling, but yet you still have a sense of calling and you are fulfilling that calling. Yeah. Your vocation may be different from your calling. You are blessed if your vocation is also your calling. I've experienced in my life, my vocation being also my calling. Yeah, a major part of my vocation being doing it with a sense of calling. It gives the ultimate sense of fulfillment that we all need. But things trigger it. Sometimes it's revelation knowledge that triggers it. That you just got to know something by revelation knowledge. Or a prophecy. You got a word of prophecy and it just triggers something. And it just shows you that, you know what? God wants me to move in this direction. And you can't be audacious except you pick up that trigger and you start to move with it. Let me add to it. Some other times it's a painful experience. As bad as the demise of a person, that you lost someone, it can be a trigger. Can I prove that to you? In the scriptures, we read the story of Naomi in Ruth chapter 1. Ruth chapter 1, when you read from verse 1 to 5, you read the story of Naomi, a woman, of Bethlehem. Her and her husband moved to Moab. They relocated, like many people are relocating today, or have relocated all around the world from different nations to different nations. It was that kind of thing. They relocated, and they had seemingly a bad experience. Wherever you are hearing the sound of my voice, and wherever you have relocated to, I pray for you that the hand of God will rest upon you. Your experience will not be a terrible experience. In the name of Jesus, that nation, that city will yield an increase to you. My God will protect you. It will shield you in the name of Jesus. But this wasn't the experience of Naomi at all. It wasn't the experience of Naomi. And in this time of the pandemic, we have people who have lost people, who have lost a loved one. And just like when Christ was crucified, the Bible says if they had known, if they had an inkling of the plan of God, they would not have crucified the King of Glory. Because sometimes God even uses bad experiences to trigger something. He doesn't cause it. He's not the one that made it happen, but he can leverage it to still point us in the right direction. The moment Naomi's husband, Elimelech, died, then her two sons also died. Mahlon and Chilion. They also, both of them died. Naomi said, now it's time to go back to Bethlehem. It's time to go back. This is a trigger. I'm going back. This painful experience of losing her husband and losing her two sons triggered a return. And that started something different in her life completely. Because with that return, like the story, Ruth went with her when Oprah said, now I can go, because she gave both of them the chance. If you want to go, you can go. But Ruth went with her. That triggered something. That seemingly bad experience triggered something that will link Ruth to the lineage of our Lord Jesus Christ. If you understand what I'm saying. Maybe if time permits me, I'll get there a little bit more when I talk about other things. Where Ruth eventually met Boaz and got married to Boaz. And from that lineage, from Boaz, I think Obed came and all that. And then that's the root which David came from and where Christ also came from. Glory be to Jesus. I said, glory be to Jesus. And when you read about the lineage of Christ today, you see these two women there. You see them in that lineage, especially Ruth. Something was triggered there. Let me go on. When you look at the life of Moses, you see triggers. Exodus chapter 3. Exodus chapter 3, from verse 1 to 5, you see there that Moses was just, shepherding his father-in-law's sheep in the corner of nowhere, and then God showed up to him. God showed up to him, and God, started to talk to him. God started to, prod him and just, started to lead him on. And one of the ways that God got his attention was through a trigger. And that trigger happened to be the burning bush. The burning bush. So Moses had what we popularly call the burning bush experience. The burning bush experience. Can you give me Exodus chapter 3 from verse 1? Exodus chapter 3 from verse 1. Moses' burning bush experience, which was a trigger. The Bible says, now Moses was tendering the flock of Jethro, his father-in-law, the priest of Midian, and he led the flock to the back of the desert and came to Horeb, the mountain of God. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him in a flame of fire from the midst of the bush. So he looked, and behold, the bush was burning with fire, but the fire was not consumed. Verse 3, then Moses said, I will now turn aside and see this great sight. This great sight. There's a great sight that God wants you to see this season that will trigger something in your life. I will see this great sight while the bush does not burn. So when the Lord saw, verse 4, when the Lord saw that he turned aside to look, God called to him from the midst of the bush and said, Moses, Moses, Moses. And he said, here I am. And then God told him, do not draw near. Take your sandals off your feet, for the place where you stand is holy ground. And, you can read on and on and on. But what happened there was that God said, take off your sandals. Remove all the debts and everything. All the places where you have been, because you are stepping into an experience. Take away the past, because you're about to step into new. Step into his presence. In the presence, there is newness. Step into the new, so that you can now begin to pick up the call of God for your life. That experience triggered something in the life of Moses. It triggered something in the life of Moses. So though Moses, strayed from his calling, the burning bush was the spark he needed to guide him back to destiny. Is there someone listening to me today who needs to be, guided back into destiny? May God give you your own burning bush experience this season. In the name of Jesus. As you seek God this last 2 months of 2020, somebody here, you will recognize a trigger. Something will ignite in your spirit. Something will get your attention, like the burning bush got the attention of Moses. Something will turn around. Something will flip in the name of the Lord Jesus. And you will see the hand of God in an unusual manner this season. Can I get a big amen to that? Can I get another amen to that? In the precious name of the Lord Jesus. So, it takes courage to shift from being a shepherd boy to being a deliverer of a whole nation. And that courage will be triggered by an event. And this was the event. It's called a trigger. Where are you right now? And where is the place that God wants you to be? It will take courage. Can I speak to somebody today? Especially someone who may be in a position of Naomi right now. You've suffered a loss. Maybe of a spouse. Maybe of a child. Maybe of your parent. This season. Within the last 12 calendar months or so. God may be using, may want to leverage some of these things as a trigger in your life. To trigger something new. To trigger a new beginning. To trigger a call that he has placed upon your life. To trigger a passion. As you think about what you have lost, sometimes something awakes in your inside. I wrote a book a few years ago that I titled, Don't Waste Your Pain. And I wrote a lot in that book about what I'm describing right now. If you can get the book, please go ahead and get it. Don't Waste Your Pain. It's a small book. And I have a message in that title too that you can order. Don't waste your pain. If you have been through any pain, I need to understand that God often will use a painful experience as well as a pleasurable experience, an exciting experience like that of Moses. God will use it. But God will use other experiences too. Jacob's experience was not so great. He lost, the hip bone or something. He was limping after God finished with him. It was because of, the hardness of his own heart, his experience was very rigorous. May your experience not be rigorous. In the precious name of Jesus. So God wants to trigger something in your life. God triggered something in the life of Abraham in Genesis chapter 12. He had seen Abraham as a faithful guy, a guy that can trust him. But in Genesis 12, God showed up to him. In verse 1, it says, come out of your people and out of your, kindred and go to a place that I will show you. Genesis 12 and verse 1. And the Lord said to Abraham, come out of your country, from your family and from your father's house to the land that I will show you. Genesis 12 and verse 1. Verse 2 says, and I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and in you, and you shall be a blessing. You shall be a blessing. So this experience triggered something new in the life of Abraham. This made Abraham relocate. Many people are trying to relocate, especially if you live in my nation, Nigeria. Many people are trying to relocate from here. Some people are trying to relocate from America right now, maybe to relocate to Canada or Australia or somewhere. They just feel like, this change of government may not pan out well, or maybe it won't favor my business or what have you, whatever country you are right now. My admonition for you is that before you relocate, hear from God. Gain divine direction. Don't make it just a spur of the moment thing. God spoke to Abraham. That was his trigger. That was his trigger. And he knew that it's time to venture. It's time to move. In fact, the funny thing was that Abraham did not even know where God was taking him. Yet he departed. Yet he moved. And God followed him as he went. And great things started to happen in his life. Great things started to happen in his life. And every promise that God gave to him came to pass. I pray for you this season that you will not miss your triggers. In the name of the Lord Jesus, that the hand of Jehovah will guide you into the fullness of that which God has in mind for you this season. In Jesus' precious name. Let's move quickly to catalyst. 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 Catalyst speaks of a person or thing that precipitates an event. A person or thing that precipitates an event. Yeah. A person or thing that precipitates an event. And a good example can be marriage or other significant partnership. Sometimes you just get into a marriage and it just precipitates something great, something wonderful in your life. It precipitates a sense of responsibility. It precipitates, your sense of homeliness. It precipitates, your sense of being futuristic or capacity to be a visionary. Just because you now have some sense of responsibility. You get into other significant partnership and it just precipitates something in your life. It serves as a catalyst. A covenant also can serve as a catalyst. When you come into a covenant with God or a covenant with another person, and you just realize that you are bound by this covenant to do certain things or to live a certain way. And that serves as a catalyst to help you to stay on the path that is straight and narrow. Part of straight and narrow can be very confining, constraining, but it leads, the Bible says, to eternal life. It leads to the end game. It leads to the end result that you have in mind. Many people want to fulfill their goal in life, but they are vacillating. They are on a path that is wide, not a path that is narrow. When you engage your catalyst in destiny, what happens is that, it precipitates an event in your life that will make you to stay on the right path for the fulfillment of your destiny. So, a new field of study, unprecedented events or opportunities can be a catalyst. A catalyst. Yeah, can become a catalyst. Again, let's look at the life of Moses. In the life of Moses, Pharaoh was the catalyst. The obstinacy of Pharaoh, the stubbornnness of Pharaoh was very catalytic in the life of Moses. Moses thought, okay, now that I have responded to God, I picked the trigger after God, had constrained him one way or the other. It was supposed to be a walk in the park. Moses did not even know what he had. I'm going to speak about enablers very soon. Moses did not even know what he had. But when he got to Egypt and he saw the obstinacy, the stubbornness of Pharaoh, it was a catalyst of some sort. All kinds of plagues and all that. And Moses saw God had an unusual experience with God that prepared him for leadership and, pushed him to fulfill his calling. So sometimes a trigger or catalyst can be, like I said before, can be good, can be bad. It can be negative. It can be positive. In recent times, in my nation here in Nigeria, we've had the EndSARS movement or protest. It was a catalyst that woke up and precipitated a new sense of direction and desire for a new Nigeria, especially for the younger generation. The older generation is still trying to grapple with it and see how they can avoid it, especially the people in power, to see how they can push it aside and all that. But you can't kill an idea whose time has come. You can't kill an idea whose time has come. The idea that Nigeria can be a nation that is run well, where the rule of the law is obeyed, or where impunity is done away with, where there's equity, where there's justice, and where there's good leadership, is an idea whose time has come. And except everybody aligns with it, we may not be going in the right direction together. And that's what happens when a catalytic event happens. The Black Lives Matters also in America was another event that brought again to the awareness of everyone that the issue of racial tension and racial injustice is still very strong, in the national discourse and in the way of life in America. And while people are trying to push it, to the back burner, the death of George Floyd and all the other, ancillary event that happened that time just brought everything back to the fore. So a catalytic event can happen in your life. It can happen to a nation. It can happen in an industry where God will be showing that something is changing in this industry. And if you want to survive in this industry, you need to align in a certain manner. And I pray for someone here. I pray for a business guy here. I pray for a business woman here. I pray for a political leader listening to me this morning. I pray for an industry giant listening to me this morning. May God help you to understand every catalyst that is happening around you, everything that is catalytic, everything that will cause a big change around you, that you will not play the ostrich this season, that you will not bury your head in the sand. In the name of the Lord Jesus, my God will give you unusual awareness of the things happening around your life. Can I get a bigger amen to that? Glory be to Jesus. I said, glory be to Jesus. So God uses all kinds of things as catalysts. Like I said, Pharaoh's hardness of heart brought about an unmitigated demonstration of God's power and a rescue never before seen in history. Not seen since then. That's what happened. God just, used, he said, I'm going to use Pharaoh for an experiment. Yeah. I'll keep hardening his heart and then I'll demonstrate my power. Pharaoh then became the catalyst to see how powerful God can use Moses. Sometimes when a Goliath shows up, it's not to mesmerize you. It's just to show how powerful God can manifest through your life. And I don't know which Goliath you're dealing with right now. It may be a Goliath of marital pain or marital trouble. It may be a Goliath of financial issues. God, this season, will use every Goliath as a punching bag for you to demonstrate his power through you. They will not overwhelm you. You will overwhelm them. Say a bigger amen, somebody. I said they will not overwhelm you. You will overwhelm them in the name of the Lord Jesus. So when your boss all of a sudden starts to behave funny at work and it looks like you're losing favor before your boss, when, the environment in business or at work becomes very toxic, it may be a catalyst that God is using to push you to your next level. Rather than praying, God, change the atmosphere, change this. God may be saying, son, it's time to move. You remember the story in 1 Kings of Elijah at the brook, and the raven will come and feed it. And after a while, the brook dried up. And then God told Elijah, go to Zarephath. I prepared a widow there to feed you. Sometimes some people stay at the brook, Charity, and they don't know that the brook drying up is a catalyst to push you to your next level. It's something that God wants you to see and know that it's time to shift. I pray for everyone that must experience a shift this season. I declare in the name of Jesus, you will not miss your catalytic event. In the name of Jesus, my God will open your eyes to see it. You will know when to move and how to move in the precious name of Jesus. In Abraham's life, we see the catalyst. It's revelation knowledge. In Genesis 15, God showed up to Abraham and challenged him. And Abraham said, I don't have a child and I want a child. I don't have a child, but I want a child. And God said, you want a child? I'll give you a child. You know, the conversation they had there, Genesis 15, when you read from verse 1, the Bible says in the New King James Version, it said, after these things, the word of the Lord came to Abraham in a vision saying, do not be afraid, Abraham, I'm your shield and your exceeding great reward. But Abraham said, Lord, what will you give me, seeing that I go childless? And the heir of my house is Eliezer of Damascus. And Abraham said, look, you have given me no offspring. Indeed, one born in my house one born in my house is my heir. And behold, the word of the Lord came to him, saying, this one shall not be your heir, but one who will come from your own body shall be your heir. Then he brought him outside and said, look now towards heaven and count the stars, if you are able to number them. And he said to him, so shall your descendants be. And the Bible says, Abraham believed in the Lord, and he accounted it to him for righteousness. May you believe this season. In the name of the Lord Jesus, may you be like Abraham and walk, in faith to believe, as God will show you triggers, as he will show you catalysts in the precious name of Jesus. You see, it was very simple what happened here, but not that simple. Abram was his name before then. And, when he started to see these things and believe them, it automatically changed the configuration of his heart. How do you move from Abram to Abraham? I'll get into that as I discuss my last point. But I need you to understand today that God started to shift the mind of Abraham, telling him, look at the stars. And I believe God is saying that to somebody today. If you cannot count the stars, then you won't be able to count the number of children that I will give you. Can I get an amen to that? Yours may not be biological children, but the amount of influence and impact that you will have around the world. That's why the Bible says, in you all the families of the earth shall be blessed. That's part of the blessing of Abraham. And it was this experience that Abraham had that served as a catalyst for him to be able to see what God was going to work out and do through his life. Can go on and on and on the story of Abraham, or is it the story of Ruth? Where an event also happened. We started from the story of Ruth as a third character, Ruth and Naomi. When they got into Bethlehem, in Ruth chapter 2, Ruth said, in verse 2 of Ruth chapter 2, I want to go and glean and look for food for you, my mother-in-law. Perhaps I will find favor and I'll be able to glean and get some food. From the people who are reaping from the harvest, I'll be able to pick up some things that we eat. And the Bible says as he went, he engaged favor. And it was a catalyst. The trigger was for them to go back to Bethlehem. When they got to Bethlehem, they had to be well settled by God. Boaz must come in. A rich man must come into the mix of that family for things to turn around. But Ruth stepped out one day, Ruth chapter 2 and verse 2, and as she went out, the Bible says that she happened to get on the plot of land that belonged to Boaz. After the mother-in-law said, you can go. In verse 3, the Bible says, then she left and went and gleaned in the field after the repast, and she happened. Somebody say she happened. You will happen to be somewhere this season. In the name of Jesus. She happened to come to the part of the field belonging to Boaz, who was of the family of Elimelech. That was a catalyst. That event changed everything. If Ruth had gone somewhere else to glean that day, nothing, great may have happened. They may have remained poor in Bethlehem. But just that it happened by divine happenstance, that Ruth happened to step into the field that belonged to Boaz, a family member. It changed everything. It changed everything. May God order your steps this season. May He open your eyes to chance on something great, a catalyst that will bring new events into your life in the name of Jesus. You can just imagine if Ruth had gone somewhere else. Just not too long after, a few hours after she got there, Boaz himself came. And the moment Boaz sighted her, something connected. Boaz told his man, who is the babe? Who's the babe? In contemporary times, said, who's that babe? And they said, she's one Moabitess woman who came with Naomi, and she's been very hardworking. She's been picking heads of grain, and all that. Boaz told them, none of you should touch her. Now, you need to be dropping stuff for her. This is somebody you had never met before. You need to be that's favor working there. May the favor of God come into your life in an unusual manner this season in the name of Jesus. May people who do not know you from Adam favor you and help you and seek you out of the crowd. It was not only Ruth that was there that day. There were other women, poor women like her, just gleaning heads of grain right there. But Boaz came and said, that babe, that particular one, make sure you drop stuff for her, take care of her, and then when it's time for lunch break, let her come and eat where we are eating. Let her enjoy her life. And from that point, things, connected. It was a catalyst, it was a catalytic experience that transported Ruth into the fullness of her destiny. That will be your portion for everyone trusting God for marital settlement. I pray for you today that the grace and the favor of God that work in the life of Ruth will work in your life this season. You will no longer be stranded. Delay is cancelled in the name of the Lord Jesus. And all who believe, say, believe in amen today. Glory be to Jesus. Lastly today, enablers. 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 When you talk about enabler, you talk about, a person or thing that makes something possible. That enables something. An enabler is a person or thing that makes something possible. That makes something possible. And when God wants to bless a man, it gives you the audacity to recognize your enablers and embrace your enablers. Many people are running away from their enablers. In this part of the world, we call them, if it's a person, we say an helper of destiny, an enabler. But an enabler is not only a person. It's a person or thing that makes something possible. Good examples of enablers, associations, or the company that you keep. The network can become an enabler, where somebody who has nothing to start with can be enabled just because you are part of a connection. You are part of a network. That's why at the Elevation Church, we run a small group system. And our small group, we're trusting God as we go into 2021, will become major enablers for people in different fields of life as people come together to join small groups based on interest. People who do the same thing. People who are going through the same phase of life together. The small group becomes an enabler. You meet someone who is doing what you are doing on a larger scale. And then you gain wisdom from them. And you are enabled to be able to do more. Destiny will wake up. Your latent capacity will be enabled. That's what God has in mind this season. And I pray for you today that God will help you to recognize every opportunity to embrace your enablers in destiny. In the name of Jesus. So association, business partner, covenant relationships. Mentorships. Yeah. When you get a new job, a boss can just be positioned to be an enabler for you, who will lift you and show you how to navigate. Great opportunities or gifts that you have. An inheritance, whether from the earthly father or the heavenly father, can be an enabler. God is sending you new enablers this season. in the name of the Lord Jesus. Back to the story of Moses. As I start to wrap this all up, Moses had enablers around him that he was not even aware of. When God called him after the burning bush experience, Moses did not know that what he had in his hand was an enabler for his destiny. So God had to capacitate Moses, and he didn't even know it. What gift has God given you that you have ignored or overlooked? It's time to recognize that God had capacitated you just like he did to Moses, and he didn't even know it. So what gift has God given you that you have ignored or overlooked? This is the time to recognize such gift. This is the time to recognize such gift in your life. Every gift that you have ignored, that you have overlooked, in the name of Jesus, God will open your eyes this season to locate them, to locate those enablers. Moses had a rod in his hand, but he didn't know. He didn't know that this rod can do anything. He didn't know that the rod can do anything. So you have something, and until you obey God, like Moses, and drop the rod, you may not know the capacity of the rod. That rod that became an enabler in the palace of Pharaoh. That when the magicians and astrologers came down, Moses only needed to drop the rod, and it swallowed, or it became a snake that swallowed everything, or the whole snake there. That's how God operates. There are things in your life. What rod do you have in your hand? What rod do you have in your heart that God just wants you to project this season? It's an enabler that God has put there. Sometimes enablers are human beings. When Moses complained, I cannot talk, I'm a stammerer. God said in Exodus chapter 4 and verse 16 and 17, he said, have I not positioned, Aaron, your brother? Aaron, Moses' brother, he said, that will be your enabler as you go. Can you put that scripture up for me? Exodus 4, 16. Exodus 4 and verse 16, he said, and he shall be your spokesman to the people, and he himself shall be as a mouth for you, and you shall be to him as God. Look at verse 17. Verse 17. The Bible says, and you shall take this rod in your hand with which you shall do signs. That's after God had demonstrated to Moses that the rod can become a snake. He now said, look, this rod and your brother Aaron, whom I've prompted, who will meet you at the gate as you are getting into Egypt, those are the two enablers that you need. When you show before Pharaoh, Aaron will speak for you. And when there's trouble, drop the rod. And in the time of trouble, drop the rod. Can you hear me tell somebody, if there's somebody beside you, say it's time to drop your rod. So that the rod of Moses can become the rod of God.
Thank you for listening. We hope you were truly blessed. Please feel free to email us at info@elevationg.org for all inquiries or to share any testimonies. You can also follow us on our social media channels @ElevationNG to have access to real-time updates on all broadcasts and special programs. Till we come your way again, keep making greatness common.